Hello there. Once again, it's Anton from Antonio Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room today. Taking a look at some comics I picked up in North Carolina when I was on vacation. I got these from McKay's. These are Jungle Girl comics from Dynamite Press. And sometimes Dynamite stuff is not so great. The covers always look great, but the insides are a little flat. These are all done by Frank Cho, so we know they're good. I was able to pick these up fairly cheaply because I got them at a place that wasn't a comic book store. And the only thing that I'm not wild about them, well, I mean, I'm wild about them obviously, but is their absolute total similarity to Shaun of the She-Devil, also done by Frank Cho. I mean, the art, of course, is similar, but then the very character design is extremely identical. And I'm not going to hate on that too much because obviously I love Shaun of the She-Devil. Got a lot of Jungle Girl titles, love Jungle Girl comics. It's just, usually there's enough difference in either what they're wearing or their character design or something that sets them apart. And in this case, these are so similar, it's very hard to tell. You could literally forget which one you were reading probably midway through if it wasn't for the pretty good distance and difference in personalities of the characters. So kudos to them for being able to actually portray personality well enough in a comic that I could tell different characters apart, even though they look identical. That may sound really simple, but that's kind of harder than you might think when working with a comic book. Remembering personality. So either way, this is a short run. This was only 25 cents. I had to pay more for it, but it was an odd early release book, so I'm not mad at that. It's a little thinner than most. It's actually quite thin, and actually I've seen a copy of this signed by Frank Cho and slabbed. It was like 10 bucks at a store, but I was like, how can it seemed weird to buy a slab of a 25-cent comic. Signed or not, that's a little odd to slab. I'm not a big fan of slabs. I don't even bag my books usually, so anymore. I don't buy new bags. If I get a new comic, it's not getting bagged. It may come out of the bag it's in, so. So artwork we already know is gonna be pretty good. The interior art is Adriano Battista. But I mean, it looks heavily influenced by Frank Cho, in my opinion. So I know he's got the covers, but like the insides look more like the Frank Cho covers on the Shaun of the She-Devils than even the covers. So, but of course, it's a Jungle Girl title, so you're gonna get what you're gonna get, which is gonna be fantastic jungle adventures with dinosaurs and monsters. Probably some indigenous tribes that we have to kill or stab or something. It's going to be good. I mean, you're going to enjoy it. Don't have to have them like eating the bug. Don't necessarily need to see that. But if you want to eat bugs, it's up to you. And that is it. That is the issue. So when I said it was a short comic, I was not kidding. That is a very short comic. But for 25 cents, like a promo issue, I don't know what we could really expect more. Superpowers, that's kind of cool. I actually thought Cho did the art on inside of these, and maybe he does in the later issues. This is issue number 3. Let's see. Looks like we might be still getting interior art by Adriano Battista. I guess all you can hope for is a Frank Cho cover. And we've got indigenous tribes, crest, jet, all beautiful elements of course, what you expect from a Jungle Girl title. They almost always involve either indigenous tribes or indigenous animals, either being threatened or threatening foolish like outsiders who've landed into it. And then your heroine balanced somewhere between the two, whether she's fighting the invading forces or the hunting party or whatever against, if she's fighting against them to save her tribe or her animals or something, her jungle kingdom, or she's trying to save the visitors from the jungle kingdom or to get them out of it. There's always some sort of element where the jungle girl is the mediator, is basically what always happens. Somehow choosing between the outside world and the inside world, and who to help and who to assist, and how best to do that in keeping harmony. I've noticed this repeatedly. It's been a very common theme throughout many Jungle Girl titles. So I guess if you're into that theme, you'll probably be more into the books, because that is basically the thing. Am I loyal to where I'm from? Am I loyal to my people? And who are my people? Are the people who, you know, I look like, are they my people? Or is it the people who I hold their values are my people? Or what? It's always an interesting dichotomy. You know, plus they look hot. So it's always that way. And I'm a big fan of, well, all Jungle Girl titles, but especially older ones. I really appreciated, what was the one DC had? Names escape me. It's been a long week. I'll think of it in a minute. But obviously Shauna the She-Devil, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. There's a whole bunch from the 40s and 50s. Like Ula. Shoot. They got a bunch of weird grunt names, but all of them are enjoyable in their own way. So, ooh, Long Road Home, RV of Darkness. Raise the Dead. Interesting ads. Superpowers. Who is that guy? Oh, I know the name of this character. Fightin' Yank. I've heard good things about Fightin' Yank. I need to look up some of them books and see what I can find. I've only got 3 issues of this, so this is issue 4. This is Cho, Murray, and Batista. And you know what? While I'm looking at these, I should probably real quick give you a reference on date. 2008. Once again, we got Adriano Batista on the insides and Frank Cho on the plot and cover. The other thing I generally like about jungle titles, because of your characters and subject matter, there's not usually a ton of dialogue and exposition. And they tell most of the story through simple art and panels. And I do love that aspect. I mean, that is not a lot to read on that page. And I like that. Like, embrace the medium. You're in a comic. You don't need to make a novel out of it. Tell us the story. Use both. Use words as little as possible. That guy is disgusting. His head is literally exposed. Ugh. Nasty. Ooh, nasty little worm biting things. Ugh, this is all sorts of terrible. I don't even need to say that I like the art because it's like obvious, like the art is so good. These, I'm trying to remember if I've read the Jungle Girl books yet. I know I've read Shaun of the She-Devil. I think I read the first couple Jungle Girls. I haven't read these actual issues, but I've read a few issues in the past. Let's see here. Yeah. So even though she looks a lot like I said, even though she looks a lot like Shayna or Shauna, however you want to pronounce that, there's a pretty different personality behind this gal. I believe her name is Jana. And that's pretty much it. They're glossy, they're well produced. They're not newsprint, but they are a beautiful comic book, and like I said, you can see how much they look. I mean, there's just such a similarity between the titles and between the motif. But if that's the title and the motif you like, then you'll like it. There's no reason to get upset about it. You're going to enjoy them both. So I recommend these. Of course I do. And at 2008, these are $2.99 cover prices. That's not that bad for 2008. It really isn't. I remember a lot of books were getting up around $3 in 2001. So the fact that these were that reasonable of a price back then, and I'm not sure what these are normally going to run. I think I paid $1.70 or $1 for most of these, something like that. I think the most expensive one was $1.75. So, but like I said, that's at McKay's. That's not at a comic book store. That's pretty much all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's my story. Catch you guys later. Bye.